how to use the Web Workers API to create a background thread, allowing JavaScript to run heavily or continuous tasks without freezing or slowing down the main user interface. In this example, we are going to be looking at the Web Workers API, how JavaScript runs code in the background. Normally, JavaScript is a single-threaded language. It can only do one thing at a time. If you ask it to run a massive loop or a continuous calculation, the entire web page freezes and the user can't click buttons or scroll. So think of this Web Workers API as hiring an assistant who works in a separate room. So you give them a task to do. So they run the heavy tasks in the background and they send message back to you after the work has been done. So this modus operandi is what the Web Workers does in JavaScript. So you give them a script file, they run that heavy task in the background, and they send messages back to the main page with the results, keeping your website smooth and responsive. So let's look at how we can use an example to demonstrate how this works in this lesson. So let's move into the script tag, and inside this script tag, let's make a function. So we are going to be making two functions. The first function is going to start at the worker, and the second one is going to be to stop the worker. So let's name them accordingly. Start worker. And this function is going to use the if conditional statement to check type of work equals to undefined. Then this is going to be new worker, and then you can pass in your whatever demo underscore worker .js inside of this. Once you are done with this, so come down here and then use that same variable on message equals to function that takes a parameter of event, and inside this document dot get element by id, the id of results dot inner html equals to event dot data. Data. So now this is the function to start the worker. And now let's make a function to stop the worker as well. Stop worker. And for this, you are going to call the variable name and call terminate method undefined, and that's it. But right now you can't see what you've done, so let's just basically add buttons inside this plot. So button, give it an ID of btn actually, then an on-click property of start worker, and then add a simple text start worker. Then the other button should be a replicate of this, so let me just copy it and paste. So let me call this button 2, and this is going to be stop worker. Stop worker. And Since I've changed the ID, so I can change this ID to VCA. Of course, if I click on this now, nothing is going to happen. And if you try to inspect in the browser, let's check whether there's anything as a queue inside of our console. Now, demo worker.js was blocked because of a disallowed mmtype text/html. Actually, I don't have this file, but let me try and create it for the example's sake. So let me put it in the root folder and call it demo worker.js. So let me go back, and inside it, just let me put a simple text like this. So this is how to access it. This is in the root folder. So now if you click Start Worker, you can see lorem is not defined inside that file. But what just happened is showing us that we are reaching that file. Actually, we are reaching the file, as you can see in the console, even though there's no valid interaction that needs to happen inside that file. Now, let me go back. This is JavaScript. So let me just use something simple. Maybe even if I put a paragraph, is it going to work? Let me try. Now it's not showing an error, but it is actually not showing anything on the screen again. So what have we just done here? We have basically broken down how you can use the Web Worker API if you have a valid file with valid JavaScript. So once you click on Start Worker, so it will process everything that's inside that file and then will return results. And along the line, you can also stop it if you don't want it to continue. So that's the purpose of the button. The reason why we don't have anything on the feed is that in our demo worker.js file, we actually don't have any JavaScript code that needs to be executed. So I only created it for a demonstration purpose in order to be able to illustrate how it will work in a real application.